Welcome back to day 31 of reading the entire Bible this year. This is the recap, the 4 readings on YouTube. And in this video, we go over Acts of the Apostles, chapter 22 through 24. So in chapter 21, Paul had just gotten arrested, and now he's giving a chance to address himself to all the Jews. They're upset with him because he teaches to the Gentiles and tells them not to uphold the law of Moses. And this is because, of course, when Jesus came, a new covenant was created. He addresses the crowd and tells them that he was raised with the law and adheres to it, and that he actually was someone who used to persecute Christians. But then he talks about how he was converted to Christianity because Jesus actually came to him. And when they heard his whole story and testimony, they said, "Away with such a fellow from the earth, for he ought not to live." And as they cried out and waved their garments and threw dust into the air, the tribune commanded him to be brought into the barracks, and ordered him to be examined by scourging to find out why they shouted thus against him. But Paul was a Roman citizen. He said to them, "Is it lawful for you to scourge a man who is a Roman citizen and uncondemned?" When the centurion heard this, he was afraid, because the Romans take their rights very seriously. The people who were going to examine him withdrew immediately because they were scared. And in chapter 23, Peter wanted to address the chief priests and the council. So the council was filled with Sadducees and Pharisees. Pharisees believed in the resurrection and spirits, while Sadducees did not believe in resurrection. When Paul realized this, he said, "Brethren, I am a Pharisee. With respect to the hope and the resurrection of the dead, I am on trial." And when he said this, there was dissension among them because the Pharisees started sticking up for him more, and then the Sadducees still wanted to see him killed. A great clamor arose, and some of the scribes of the Pharisees' party stood up and contended, "We find nothing wrong in this man. What if a spirit or an angel spoke to him?" And when it became violent, Paul had to be removed from the area. And then the following night, the Lord talked to Paul, saying, "Take courage, for as you have testified about me at Jerusalem, so you must bear witness also at Rome." Then the Jews made a plot to kill Paul. There was 40 who bound themselves to an oath that said they would not eat or drink until they kill him. So the son of Paul's sister heard of the ambush and told Paul. So Paul told the tribune about this, or the person who he was in custody of. So the tribune had him moved. He wanted to bring him to the governor named Felix. So the soldiers, according to the instruction, took Paul and brought him by night. And he commanded him to be guarded in Herod's praetorium. And then in chapter 4, after 5 days, the high priest Ananias came down with some elders and a spokesman. They laid before the governor their case against Paul. So they gave him their side of the story on why he should be persecuted. And the Jews also joined in the charge, affirming that all this was so. And then Paul gave his defense. Starting off, he says, "Realizing that for many years you have been judge over this nation, I cheerfully make my defense." He said, "I worship the God of our fathers, believing everything laid down by the law or written in the prophets. As he was in the temple, they found me purified, without any crowd or tumult." And he said that the Jews from Asia are the ones who started everything. So Felix, who is judge over the matter, said, "When Lysis the tribune comes down, I will decide your case." Then he gave orders to the centurion that he should be kept in custody, but should have some liberty, and that none of his friends should be prevented from attending his needs. So Paul was kept in custody while he awaited his judgment. But when 2 years had elapsed, Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus, and desiring to do the Jews a favor, Felix left Paul in prison. And that's where we leave off today. God bless. I'll see y'all tomorrow.